Hello and welcome to my show, Conversation with Priya. I'm Priya Mishra, your host, and today our guest is Vimal Narayan. Vimal Narayan is founder and CEO of Medtrix Healthcare. Medtrix has been working with top pharma companies in supporting their commercial and medical plan and executing them across therapy areas and geographies, offering unmatched quality and service. Vimal says his business strategy has been to work with the client across region and geographies and hence he be their natural global partner. Vimal works with the existing bunch of science and technology fanatics who have created several first in the world kind of application solution across different therapeutic areas. Among many, his specialties are handle global top pharma in healthcare client, people management, senior management relationship at big pharma qualities assurance, setting up a system and process for sales and operation, relationship building new business avenues, handling large deal, identify opportunity, and develop newer market and clients. He enjoys setting up a new business avenues, identifying new opportunities, building relationship, business verticals, and understanding the unmet need of clients and partners. Vimal is based in Bangalore, South India. So today, I would like my audience help me to welcome Mr. Vimal Narayan. Hello and welcome to my show, Mr. Vimal. Thank you for joining in today.
Hi, Priya. Nice to meet you, and thank you for inviting me.
Pleasure. So, I know you have been working in a wide variety of your in medical industry, and your Meditrix company is doing a lot of wonders in medical facility and medical areas. Would you mind briefing out how this whole journey started for you? What excites you in that?
Okay, that's a nice way to start. Thank you. So so we started our journey in 2012, and we've been working with several of our customers for the last 8 years plus. So I have been in the pharmaceutical industry from the beginning of my career, which was in 1998, 99. And it's about 22 years, let's say. So I started with working with large pharma companies, and then by around 2008 is when I moved into the other side of the table, which is to provide services and technology and content and support. I used to work with another firm. And then in 2012 is when this bug bit me, let's say the entrepreneurial bug, to think, what if we could do what we're doing for others, for ourselves, and a group of passionate people, let's say. Yeah. So that's how this idea came in, and we've been lucky. We've been profitable, and we've been growing. So we've also been extremely, hardworking and perseverant to, work and maintain relationships with our clients who are large pharmaceutical companies. Right. In different markets like US, Europe, several parts of Asia and Middle East.
Isn't it is just perseverance is everything, being that consistent in every ways, whether it is your serviceability, your availability, your performance. Consistency is the key to success, isn't it? Especially when it comes to the actual customer serviceability.
That's correct. Especially in an area like healthcare and life science. It's traditionally you work with larger companies, yeah, with a lot of regulatory, legal, and medical restraints and challenges and hurdles, yeah, because they are allowed to say something and not allowed to say several things. Yeah. So the overall, if the machinery is large, it will move slowly. So unlike the tech or some of the let's say automobile. Or some of the other industries, pharma moves slow, which means decisions are made slow, which means like you have to be patient. Yeah. I've had instances where we have been talking to clients for 3 years, and then finally we got awarded a project. But then the good thing is that we get to work with some of the largest brands in the world. We get to work with some of the largest companies in the world. And also we get to build a very, valuable relationship which can be carried on.
Yeah.
because this is something with a lot of entry barrier for anybody else to do as well. Because if I took 3 years, somebody else would also take a similar amount of time to. That was just one example. Not everybody was 3 years, but
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, it kind of
but
a
even
standard
it's part
practice
of the game.
industry. Yeah, isn't
That's
it?
correct. Yes. We need to be perseverant in this industry because that's how the industry moves. So we have one meeting to have another meeting, and then have another meeting to have another meeting, and then finally a decision is made. Like let's say in 6 months. So we need to be ready to go through that grind.
Yeah. And I think it's a very much into any regulated industry. If you go to any regulated industry, it's kind of a common practice to have you have to have a patience, and continuity and perseverance has to be there. But when it comes to the medical industry, it is more regulated because their lives involved, and other elements are also involved. In that sense, when Medimix, according to profile, seems to be more of a medical facilitator, could you tell us how your business works and what are the profit opportunities in that?
Yes. So Medtrix is a preferred supplier of medical and digital communications to several of the pharmaceutical companies, which means in common parlance, we are referred to us by our clients as agencies.
Right.
So agency is nothing but you might know a brand agency or a digital agency, or in our space, it's called as medical communications agency.
Right.
So we are a medical communications agency who specializes in creating medical content and also delivering them in innovative digital channels.
Right.
So that's what we specialize in the sense like we have doctors, PhDs, PharmDs who create medical content for us, for our clients. And then we have a bunch of graphic designers, creative visualizers, 3D artists, AV, and a full production studio of creative folks who help us visualize that content or create those content. And then this is developed and programmed into technology-based deliverables like apps, videos, or whatnot, or websites and whatnot, by a full stack technology team. So that's in a top level, the structure of how we look like. Now, the profitability is because we have a global delivery model. When I say a global delivery model, we have an office based in India, in Bangalore, in India. And then we have the services getting deployed in different parts of the world.
Right.
Our primary market is US, followed by Europe, and also we have presence in Middle East, in Asia. We are also doing projects now in China and Japan. So since we have the offshore delivery model, we tend to have higher margins of business, and we tend to be profitable from the day one. So but having said that, we offer tremendous amount of cost savings to our clients as well, because we are able to provide them a direct savings of working with us, because we have this unique offshore-onshore delivery model.
Yeah.
So having said this, it is a very difficult model to establish, because traditionally the agency world exists where the client lives. Let's say if the client is in New York, all the agencies are going to be in New York City, right? Similarly, if the clients are in, let's say, Europe or in the United Kingdom, so all the agencies are going to be in London. So to have somebody in Bangalore and then service these large pharma companies in different parts of the world needs some, taking to build. So that's the flip side to the business.
Yeah, hats off to that, because I understand how difficult it is to work in this industry. I know I'm working in that industry, and I also worked in a multiple regulated industry in past. So I know it takes real courage and real effort to build that quality work which you are doing. I really appreciate, and hats off to you and your team. I always believe that a team is your army. You can't win a war without that. So so that's amazingly great job you are doing in that sense, and especially facilitating this particular area where not many people are actually tapping into. This pharmaceutical field is considered to be a very rigid on use of patents and licensing. How does a company like yours fit into the scenario and ensures that the right of all stakeholders are actually protected?
That's a very important question, and a topic which needs to be talked about. I would say, unfortunately, it the attention that it deserves. Glad that you raised this point.
Yeah.
So if you look at the scenario of how pharmaceutical companies work, it is on the model of patents and licensing, and a product has typically a patent period of, let's say, anywhere between 6 or 5 to 15 years, during which there is only one manufacturer who creates or manufactures that product, and then they have an exclusivity over that. So that's how the model is, and that is to protect their intellectual property rights, and to also fuel research and all that. So that's on the other side. That is on the client side of business. So on our side of business, since we are servicing or we are supporting some of our clients, we are forced to think like them, in the sense like we have to be like them. But we're not a product company. We offer services. We offer support.
Yeah.
Typically, what happens is whatever content that we create for our clients belongs to our clients as an intellectual property. So what we create is their property. So we hand it over to them, and then our job is done. However, there are certain products and technologies and algorithms and tools which we own. So our business has a mix of, let's say, product versus service. Currently, it's in the range of about 30 to 35% of product and 60 or 65 to 70% of services. Yeah. Now, the model that we are going, in the sense like going ahead, is to build the product portfolio, that is to build more intellectual property and predictability and continuity in business for us. Yeah. So my estimation is that in 2021 and 2022, this proportion will go up to 50, and eventually it might go up to 70 or 80 and sort of stabilize there. So we will eventually, in the next 2 to 3 years' time, will become a company who has more of the intellectual property, and that's the direction that we are going. Yeah.
Right. I mean, there are not many people think about these things, but it is so important, aspect and the decision-making scenario where people should definitely pay attention at a very early stage, how they want to model their business and how they want to protect their IP, and also the regulations and the renewal process and all. Not many people are aware. I'm glad that you guys are working on that, and we both are in agency model kind of thing, different agency model, but we are agency and we do have to educate our customer in that sense. What has been your experience vis-a-vis companies after the COVID-19 epidemic? Have you seen any market changes in the way business operates?
So definitely, I think COVID has changed the way business is done irreversibly. In the sense, whatever we are doing today is probably what we're going to be doing in the future as well, right? So I used to travel a lot to meet clients in different parts of the world. So I would think that my travel is cut by 70%, even when we are all free to travel. Even when we all have received our vaccines, and hopefully we will, find some sanity in the way the scheme of things are. But I would think it's going to be cut by 70%, which means the same thing is going to be applicable to several business leaders, to our customers and their customers who are physicians. So somebody whom you would meet, a medical rep typically meets, let's say, 4 to 5 customers in a day, or in some markets it's less, some markets it's more. I think that's going to cut down a lot to a virtual call or a virtual meeting. So that's a fundamental level how a pharma company talks to their customer, right? Right. So the same thing is going to mean several different things for our customers, which means things are going to be different for us. One thing is for sure, we have been advocates of digital engagement. We have been advocates of digital content. We've been advocates to go digital first for all of our clients, which means that this is good news for us. So we don't have to go digital anymore because they have pressure to go digital. And so we are struggling with, strategies on how to engage customers, let's say in a key oncology area. We're not doing a lot there. What can we do now? So things which were considered as something as a risky or not ventured into or an unfamiliar path has become more of a mandatory requirement now.
Right.
So I think it's going to be like this, and people are embracing it.
Yeah.
Look at the results of the pharmaceutical companies or agencies over the last, let's say, 12 months in 2020, for example. It's not been too bad. It's been pretty okay. Some companies have not grown very well. Some companies have. Even large pharma companies have. There are several of them have grown in double digits. Several of them have grown in single digits, and some of them have degrown, of course.
Right.
But then it's not been as bad as we would have thought for them. So the results are okay,
Right.
which means that this year is going to be even better. So from a financial standpoint, things have been good. But from an engagement perspective and how you will behave, how you will think lean, and move faster, I think things have changed. And I'm an optimist. I'm an internal optimist. So I believe at some stage, whatever happened is definitely not good for all of us.
Right.
But I think we might see light at the end of the tunnel pretty soon, and it's going to be good for us.
Yeah. I mean, things are changing anyway. But it is getting more positive. People are adopted. So that's just like a deal market has been relatively dull for the whole of last year. Do you anticipate any major changes this year? And that what are major sectors within the pharma sector in itself that may see tractions?
So if you see in 2020, the top 10 deals, it is involving several of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies. So they have acquired smaller companies, and the deal market has been, again, as I said, not too bad. The first 3 months was quiet, let's say till March. But from March, if you see the top 10 deals in pharma, I think it has been active. Big pharma companies have been acquiring smaller companies, like not the real big ones, let's say, but a few $1 billion. Which are attractive. And what is becoming more common is that everybody is building special capabilities, in the sense like something that is unique to them. They are trying to acquire that to build equity for their stakeholders, of course, and build value for the customers and patients. So from that perspective, deal market has not been too bad. I would not think that it will become very different, because again, we are moving into an era of personalized medicine.
Yeah.
So I think the more targeted therapies that we're able to bring, I think the more results we want to see. And then I think a lot of smaller innovative biotech companies will get acquired by the large pharma, and the deal market would get heated up, is what I believe, over the next, let's say, 24 months or so.
Right. So things are changing and things are more adaptive towards people. I'm sure others will definitely follow. But I'm sure this is opening up the global market anyway. And then which geographies, in your words, are best for your business and why?
So if you look at the split of how the pharmaceutical industry is spread, close to about 50%, not exactly maybe, but about 50% is US. So automatically that makes US as the first choice for us to have all our focus on, and followed by Europe. Traditionally, what we have been doing well is we started from Middle East and then Asia, and then we moved into Europe. So we do well in Europe. In fact, we do a lot of work in Germany and Switzerland, where a lot of global companies are headquartered. But still, I would think US would be the single largest market for the fact that 50% of the global pharmaceutical industry is represented by US. And for the fact that the healthcare system is very, very advanced, and with the level of reimbursement and with the level of costs that people are able to get for their brands, I think US will remain as the top market for us to chase. And since we are talking about one homogeneous market, it becomes, and with one language, let's say, it becomes easy for our clients to operate from a regulatory perspective, to build things. And the same thing will apply for us as well. So we talk about the regulatory environments and so on. So it becomes easy for us to operate as well. So if we create something specific for US, we already know that we are addressing 50% of the global pharma industry. So, so that makes our life easy. Plus, in terms of costs, just to let you know, agencies in US, not only us, get paid more than agencies in different parts of the world. So that also makes it as an attractive market, to go after.
Yeah. So in terms of adopting to the new market, in terms of getting the new requirement, in terms of language barriers, demographic, and also government policy, social economic system, it does all derive the business model, especially the business model, in agency business model you are trying to reach out to. So that's why you are more focusing on US, but other parts are also it's a focus, but it's a slow movement, as I guess, isn't it?
Right. So what happens is the market is where the innovation happens. So where you have the companies where somebody comes up with, let's say, a new gene therapy or a new treatment for a vaccine, like for COVID, for example, or the vaccines. So these are the markets where innovation is going to happen. Yeah. And then these markets who are going to support the world. So if you look at how the pharmaceutical industry is structured, if I say, let's say US is the largest market, then the second largest would Germany or Japan, for example. Japan has a certain sort of a structure and the way it behaves, which allows for a local agency or somebody who's structured locally there to flourish better. Whereas Europe is more open to anybody else to come and work with. So we tend to go and meet and establish our business there. Let's say in countries like Germany and Switzerland. Switzerland, being a small country, has headquarters of several large pharmaceutical corporations in the world, and we are happy to have a couple of them in our list in clientele, like Novartis and Nestle. So it's great to be there as well. So Europe is of course one of the most developed places in the world, and it offers a lot of scope for innovative medicines, and companies are headquartered there, which means that it will automatically be a top choice for us as well, followed by the US.
Sure. Thank you so much for answering all that question and giving the insight of your business and the model you are adopting. And it is so needed in that industry. And I can imagine, I know a little bit inside, not as good as you are, but it's really interesting to see how it works. Before you go, I would like to tell you how, if people wants to reach you out, how they can reach you out.
So, of course, I'm active in LinkedIn, but then I can also provide my email address. So if they want to have a chat or know about what we do, or have any specific question, I would be very, very happy. And we also have a team of marketing experts who can be reached. So I'm very happy to publish my contact details and be willing to support anybody who has any question, information on what we just spoke about or anything else that they would like to know.
Thank you. So all the details will be given below our chat and descriptions, and it will describe, and you will be able to find his details on website. Thank you so much for joining in today and giving your insight. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done it. To know more about us, visit www.corporality.global. And also you can find more about Priya Mishra is on priya.sydney.